Hey everyone, thanks for the feedback on the Bitcoin video. I'm trying to do an Ethereum video that's shorter, and I think it will be because I feel like I probably shouldn't even be doing an Ethereum video because it's a little trickier than Bitcoin based on Ethereum's birthday, but I want to take a stab at it anyway, and maybe someone in the comments can make more sense of what I'm seeing. It's not financial advice. I'm not an active day trader with crypto, so I'm really just approaching this as a thought experiment in terms of matching up esoteric cycles with the crypto cycles. So if you haven't seen my last video, check out the Bitcoin synthesis video. I think it's a little bit easier to understand, but yeah, we'll just get right to it. So Ethereum in Cardology is a Jack of Hearts. The Jack of Hearts is a card of sacrifice, martyr for love. They come in peace, and it's a very Neptune-esque card because of the sacrifices that are made. You could take a look at its life path. It's really relationship focused. So how to interpret that for a trading instrument or investment, not really exactly sure yet, but what I usually use these spreads for is to look at the yearly spread and see what influences are occurring there. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. Now, the Jack of Hearts is one of the three fixed cards of the deck, so it does not rotate around each year. It stays fixed in that place. So some people might prefer that to Bitcoin, which has three different cards: the 2 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. No, it's the Jack of Spades, 6 of diamonds, and 10 of diamonds, or 10 of hearts, one of those two. But it has its own karma each year, which makes it a little bit more difficult to interpret. You have to really look into the yearly spreads. Other interesting thing about our Jack is that Jacks equal 11, so it's double ace energy. They're very independent. They're very creative. They're self-sustainable, self-generating. And this is what this box represents, Metatron's cube. Metatron's cube is, I won't go too much into it, but it's sacred geometric symbol made up of 13 circles, just like the 13 cards in each suit. And it basically contains all of the building blocks of life within it. The flower of life pattern, the platonic solids, and these people are super creative. They're a self-generator of love, in this case, with the suit being hearts. The Jack of Hearts is also the Christ sacrifice card of the deck. It makes a cross within the deck. The Mother Mary card is right here for those into astrotheology. Just interesting that it's right there in the middle. So interpretation of that, I don't really have one yet, but these people tend to get into relationships or partnerships with people that they feel like they really have to save. Sometimes it gives them that superiority complex. Could be a little controlling as well, but to make themselves feel better. Anyway, so you have this set up for the cards. It's only one card to look at. The numerology for Ethereum, the first block was produced 7/30/2015. That's a 9 life path. It's a 3-day, 3 plus 0 equals 3. You could see the soulmate of the 9 is the 1. Most of the other numbers are friendly numbers. However, and I have 7 as a friend, but it's an enemy of the 3, so I am going to code that as enemy energy. And the 4 is also an enemy of the 9, whereas with Bitcoin, it's not. Bitcoin actually receives really good things from the 4. So you'll see that on the chart. It's also the year of the goat in Chinese astrology. Now, the trines are completely opposite of the Bitcoin trines. So the red trines are coded for challenge energy. And the goat is enemies with the ox, and the ox is soulmates with the rat. So that's kind of why the first trine is coded as, it really should be neutral to negative, but just for this exercise, we're going to do challenging energy and then positive energy. The goat is with the cat and the pig, and the goat gets along really well with the pig. And I also coded the third trine positively because the horse is enemies with the rat, and the rat is Bitcoin. So again, just trying to like pick some stuff out that might make sense. There you can see the opposition for the sheep or the goat and the ox. So we're going to use this information to code on the cycles chart here. So what you're looking at is the chart, Ethereum chart by year, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You can see the years. This 730 now is the birthday for Ethereum. So you could see it's split right in the middle of the year. Makes it very challenging, I think. You could also see that Ethereum, just from a technical analysis perspective, follows Bitcoin. And for those of you that are a lot more active in Ethereum, maybe that's diverging at this point. I'm not really sure. I don't check the chart daily. I trade index futures. But I did understand that Ethereum would sink when Bitcoin was sinking, and Bitcoin also props up all the other cryptos. So something to keep in mind, but just trying to make sense of this chart. So when we start to layer the crypto cycles that we talked about in the Bitcoin video, you have the spring, which is accumulation, bottoming, summer, excitement, volume coming in, fall, the parabolic moves, and then winter with some profit taking, or you could say the crypto crash if you want, but it's profit taking, especially if you're in here at the lows. So you get kind of a clear view here with the cycles. I won't go into them all. You could pause it, take a look, see if anything's calling you out. Fall worked out. We had winter profit taking here. We had winter profit taking here. 2026, we're going to have, well, we'll see what we have, but we have another crypto winter, and Ethereum is actually higher than what this chart is showing now. It was at like 3,700 yesterday. I'm not exactly sure where it's at today, but the expectation would be that there would be some form of profit taking. Now, when you add in the Chinese astrology, again, the red is coded for challenge or enemy energy. The green is coded for positive energy. And you can see this doesn't really make too much sense. Like, the year of the ox is really good for the rat and Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's a rat. But it was also good for Ethereum. The snake year has been very good for Ethereum. The snake is in the second trine with the ox. The dragon's in the first trine with the rat. This kind of was a range bound, or you could say a double top, a dip into lows, and then a dip into highs. But anyway, what I guess I'm kind of getting at here is that the enemy energy is not telling me that much, because it's not abiding by that rule that, Bitcoin kind of had. And then we have the year of the horse in the crypto winter, which is an enemy for Bitcoin. But it's not an enemy for Ethereum. So, perhaps 2026 brings something different. So you have the cycles here for Chinese astrology. This is just a reminder. This is the Bitcoin chart that I was using from Forward Guidance YouTube channel. I just screenshotted this. And you could see how Bitcoin's acting. You could also see what Ethereum looks like. It follows very closely. All right, so then I layered the cards on this chart with the planetary years that it was in. This is using a 7-year spread in Cardology. Okay, so what you're going to see is that I layered, the year for Ethereum starts on its birthday. It doesn't start at the beginning of the year. So just like numerology, your personal year starts on your birthday. So starting on July 30th, 2016, Ethereum entered a Venus year, and then its next birthday was a Mars year, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Start over in Mercury, Venus. Okay, so you get that. Venus with the 9 of Spades is going to help you elevate your consciousness to higher levels, climb the ladder of a job. So, not getting much here, but Venus is a friendly period. Venus is a friendly planet, good for the finances as well, especially from home or in feminine industries. I talked about Mars in the past. It amplifies the good, it amplifies the bad, especially with charts, it seems like. So it's not good or bad. I have it coded as neutral and white here. I have Jupiter, which is generally very beneficial to us. Even if it's a difficult card, like a card of endings, it's beneficial to us. It helps you expand. It helps you make money. Saturn is going to be your karma for the year. It could also be the lessons, the karmic lessons that you're challenged with this year. Not that you can't make money, you just have to work really hard. And then we have Uranus. Uranus is full of surprises, doesn't have to be good or bad. Nothing goes according to plan generally. Uranus is a super Mercury, and you can get really surprising moves in Uranus. It could be good or bad. With the Six of Hearts here, anytime you see a 6, think of like a freight train. Think of steadiness, monotony, long time to change, long time to start. 6s are just a little bit slow to move. And then you have Neptune, which rules our hopes and fears. It might not help us see things clearly. Things might look too good to be true. Like up here, right? This thing can't go down. It can't go down. Well, it didn't go down in Neptune. Actually, it did, because this Neptune extended all the way until 7/30/2022. So you did start to see some of that profit taking in the crypto winter. Another Venus year with the Six of Spades, steady accumulation, higher highs, lower lows. Okay, that looks nice. And then what do we get with Mars? We get a lot of choppiness here. Big ranges, 4,000 down to 2,000-ish, back up. So depending on where you bought, could have been good. Depending on where you took profit. It was summertime, but again, still, we only pierced the beginning low of the summer. There was a dip in. That's a good looking candle for bullish continuation. And then what do we have in the fall? Another dip into lows, and we're currently up a little higher here. So then we have the crypto winter coming up in 2026 with Saturn. This Saturn period was fine. We don't have a previous Saturn period to understand that, how it affects us, but you can do well. You just have to work super hard. So those are the cards. Here's one thing I wanted to talk about real quickly. 7 of Spades and Saturn for Ethereum starting July 30th, 2026. Bitcoin also has a 7 of Spades as its karma card this year. Now, the 7 of Spades is a health accidents card. It's health karma. You can injure yourself. It really asks you to be very spiritual, unattached to outcomes, to let go. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And so the 7 of Spades definitely says slow down, be careful, maybe sit on your hands. Don't just jump in full size into things. There are some health issues with 7s. They're very bipolar, and I wanted to show you the sacred geometry behind it, the way I see the 7s. The 7 is the only asymmetrical card in the deck. So you could flip it up, you could flip it down based on this pip. And 7s are they can have very bipolar tendencies. They could be all in high, all in low. And the invitation is really to pivot and adjust your lifestyle, your spiritual practice, your mindset, and to stay really positive, to turn a frown around. And it's also known as a card of faith, the 7 of Spades. You have to have faith that you will be protected, taken care of, whatever it may be. Now, in terms of a financial instrument, I just had some fun drawing up some chart patterns with the pip pattern here for the 7 of Spades. Whenever I think of a 7 and the negative expression, I do think of a double top. And this, you're at a double top, and then you test the bottom of the range because it is a 7, so it flips back and forth. There's no middle ground with a 7. The 9 has a middle ground. It's a ladder. You could start in the middle and go up, start in the middle and go down. But the 7, it's not safe in the middle to trade, but it's safe on top to short as long as it's a failed breakout, or with a bottoming process, a failed breakdown. This is another opportunity for the 7 of Spades, is to just have a nice dip buying opportunity. It doesn't look good at the time, but people with a longer term mindset without fear are going to enter, and hopefully you're going to get that bounce into support and make newer highs. Just showing it again from a side profile. 7 of Spades don't want to fit in to be successful in this life, and the world they must live in must be more spiritual in nature. So take that for what it is. It's not a card that is that successful in the mundane world because it is a 7. It's spiritual. It's in the middle of the spread. It has a foot in the mundane. It has a foot in the spiritual world. And it's all about releasing control. All right, so let's jump into the numerology now. We did this with Bitcoin. Again, the greens are coded for go, good. The reds are coded as cautionary periods. And I think it's kind of interesting. So the global year also starts with, the crypto cycles and the calendar year. So one interesting thing about the 2-year is it could secretly be coded as an 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 11 years are super emotional. They are volatile. There was profit taking here. 11 is also an enemy energy for Ethereum. 4 is an enemy energy, but it did okay here. Not a problem. 7 is an enemy energy for its day. Again, higher highs, lower lows, support, foundation being built up here. Didn't have a problem. Did this only have a problem because it was the winter? That's possible. We had friendly energy here for Ethereum. Its own energy 9, and then its soulmate energy next year is a 1. So that's good, right, for the winter. When we look at the personal years, it gets a little choppier. So again, the personal year starts at the birthday. So for example, here in the fall of it started 2017. Ethereum was still in a personal 1 year. Starting at its birthday, it entered a personal 11 year or 2. So that is enemy energy. You didn't feel the effects here. However, you did start to feel the effects with this lining up here with the global year being 11, personal year being 11, crypto winter. So, three areas of confluence there. That's good for understanding, hey, I got to sit in my hands, or I should, go lighter in terms of buying this up, whatever it is. 3, it's had its own energy in the spring, accumulation. There was some enemy energy at its next birthday, 7:30. It didn't really affect it too much. You saw a little pullback there, very small. You had the enemy global year, the enemy personal year at this point. Didn't affect it. It was the summer. What's another example? Crypto winter. Even at the start of the crypto winter, it just seems like, we got that top here, and right when crypto winter started, there was a little bounce into resistance. It was probably like a 50% retracement. And then we got that massive pullback into 700, 800, whatever it was. Enemy energy here in the spring didn't really seem to affect it. 8 is great. 8, 9, that's fine. So 2026 personal year will be an 11. So there's some enemy energy there. Remember, we're going to have Saturn as well, and the 7 of spades in the winter. Overlaying the cards now on it, putting it all together. Just seeing if we could pick some stuff out, and feel free to pause this. Let me know what your thoughts are. It's a little choppy to me. It feels a little forced, but I'm almost disregarding these Chinese astrology cycles, and I'm going to look at the numerology and the Saturn and the planetary periods. So, those are two good things. King of Diamonds is good too. King of acquisition, king of getting what you want, king of business, making money. Plus you had your own energy. So these are like pretty good confluences. I would say that's fine to go in there, not a problem. This Saturn with the 7 of spades, which is a health karma card. Saturn is karma anyway. And a crypto winter and a negative or challenge personal year starting 7:30. That could be something to look for. Let's see. 6 of spades and Venus generally could be some health karma stuff at home, but generally it means just like steady employment. It was steady here, even though you had the 7 energy, but 7 energy is only enemy energy to the 3. All right, what else? Now, what's great about Cardology is I can look at the yearly spread. So let's say We want to look at this period, 7/30/2026. I'm going to screen share this today. Ethereum is ending. Ethereum's birthday is tomorrow, by the way. That's terrific. Tomorrow, it enters a new yearly spread. Has a 9 of spades as a long-range card, which usually means endings, completions, a focus on letting go. This is not good or bad. This is just what the focus is for the year. 8 of spades in Jupiter, lining up a direction from the heart. I don't know how to interpret that for Ethereum, but this is a compass. So there could be anxiety or indecision with 3s, but in Jupiter, the expectation is that we line up these 3 hearts in one direction and we just go. The 8 of spades helps to overcome any difficulties in health. Jack of clubs is a super creative influence. How does the year end with the Jack of clubs? So it could be Jackie, and the Jack of clubs is full of deception because they have a Jack of diamonds karma card in life. So it's like a double Jack influence, double life influence, playing both sides. Perhaps we see volatile swings on both sides, really big ranges. King of clubs and Saturn, hard work with mental pursuits. It's gonna be fine. This 3 of diamonds should be okay too with the 8 of clubs there. Overcoming any financial anxiety. And this is really not the part that we're worried about, to be honest. We're actually not worried, but we want to take more of an interest in 7/30/2026, so a year from tomorrow. What does that look like? Because it's enemy year for Bitcoin. It's crypto winter. This is a personal numerology year of 11, which is negative challenge energy for Ethereum. We have the 7 of spades here is a long range, or the card for the 7-year spread. It's a Saturn year. It ends with the 10 of hearts, which is nice. The 10 of hearts is a social success card, all eyes on them. This is actually one of the cards for the ES futures, S&P 500 futures. Everyone looking at them. So that's usually good. That's like a throw a party card. 4 of spades is very strong home health, very strong foundation, strong like hard work, stable career, stable lifestyle, stable health. That's good. This Saturn card looks good. These Saturn cards look good. Queen of clubs, what is Ethereum going to teach us this year? Ethereum will benefit by teaching us something. It's a vessel that shares information, communicates information to us. 10 of hearts there. I mean, it looks like a good year. So if this was a person, I would give them a go. Go for it this year. Just make sure that you keep the faith and keep a positive attitude with the 7 of spades. But it's not in a negative position. It's just it's an area of focus for the Jack of hearts. 10 of diamonds in Venus could be a big windfall of money, big lump sum, maybe big volume coming in. That's kind of the way I would look at it. There might be big volume here too. Those 10s are abundance and flowing, overflowing. This looks good. 4 of spades and Mars is good. That stability. 2 of diamonds is good. These even number cards are great. New information might, or something new, new ways of thinking about Ethereum might propel this in Mars. Mars is going to amplify the good kind of like a positive steroid effect and a negative effect. But I'm not seeing too much that I would be concerned about. No auspicious events here. No health issues. Yeah, maybe this 9 of spades isn't the greatest underlying it, but it's in Venus. And the 9 of spades also can mean just climbing the ladder of enlightenment, transcending your lifestyle, thoughts, sharing knowledge with other people, helping prop up other people. So, I don't know, looks pretty good. Well, let me know in the comments if you see anything looking at this thing. And again, it might be just something to follow Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is supportive, like a leading indicator, then go for it with Ethereum. But as always, use your proper risk management if you're an investor or a trader. I know that could be difficult sometimes, and hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Happy to go live and talk about this too, or chat about it, because I find it really interesting. But I do find Ethereum a little complicated based on the birthday if you're synthesizing with these calendar year cycles.